shoot this.
Alright, y'all. Another episode of Deep Talk. Tell the folks what we got in front of the lens today.
Yeah, my name is Jason AVILES. I'm the owner of Green Box Kitchen.
Okay. So, what is Green Box Kitchen?
Yeah, so Green Box Kitchen is an award-winning, fast casual, 100% plant-based restaurant right here in downtown Wilmington area.
Plant-based, so no meat?
No meat at all, yeah. So no animal products whatsoever. And we specialize in whole food plant-based. So fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, grains. So just keeping it basic, keeping it natural.
Keep it basically natural. What made that happen? Like, what made you get into that?
Well, I've been vegan now for 13 years. So when I adopted the lifestyle, I experienced right off the bat, like how beneficial it was just cutting out the processed food and especially the animal products. I lost 100 pounds in less than 6 months. So after myself going through the transformation, I knew firsthand that, yo, this is it. Like, this works.
Mm-hmm.
So when I came back to Delaware in 2014, I could see the issues in our community, like the food insecurity and the lack of access, because there was nowhere for me to eat. So I knew it was the same problem for other people living here. And then we started to do that work.
I'm trying to think if I know any other plant-based restaurants or, cafes, food places around here. It's a couple protein spots I've seen.
Yeah, like Herbalife type of spots.
Y'all do protein here too, or?
Yeah, you can add protein to any smoothie, and we got certain smoothies that have the protein already built in it, because that's a super thing right now. Everyone's trying to get in the gym and make sure their protein intake. So we definitely got that.
Yeah, you're not hurting though. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with it.
Yeah,
you're healthy, So what would you say your top seller here? Your top seller.
Top seller. Believe it or not, it's our green smoothie. It's called the Morning Green Giant. It has a fresh pineapple juice base, frozen mango, frozen pineapple, frozen banana, and then it has spinach, avocado, and a little bit of matcha. I think for most people, something green turns them off, but because ours tastes so good, it just ends up being, something that people want on an everyday basis.
Yeah, green substance with drink. It would kind of, throw somebody off.
Yeah.
And especially if that thick substance.
Yeah.
So it'll kind of throw it off. But you saying it's good, so it's your top seller. Huh?
Yeah.
What you say your second is?
Our OG bowl. So we make an acai bowl. So it has an organic acai base, then they get topped blueberries, strawberries, banana, granola, and then agave drizzle. So that gives you a little bit more pack for your punch, you know what I mean? Because you're getting the fresh fruit and the granola on top. But people love our bowls. In fact, we just recently won Best of Delaware for Best Acai Bowl in the upstate area. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good look.
Yeah. Official.
So basically, after you get done working out, you should just come here.
Absolutely.
Basically, right?
Yes. And we get a lot of people who do exactly that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just to get that post-workout fuel. And if you're gonna be working out and you're gonna be going to the gym and doing all that hard work, you wanna put clean fuel in your body. You wanna put good, nutritionally dense food in your body. Otherwise, if you put crap in your body after working out, it's gonna work against that process of trying to get those health and wellness goals.
Kind of like defeat the purpose.
Yeah, exactly. And they both go hand in hand. You know what I mean? Like, if you work out heavy, but you don't eat right, then not eating right is going to catch up with the working out. You know what I mean? Or if you eat right and you don't exercise, the lack of exercise is going to catch up. So it's a whole picture. You know what I mean? You got to do both to get that, to achieve that true overall wellness.
Believe it too. I believe. Let me ask you this. I be seeing a lot of vegetable-based, like burgers and stuff.
Yeah.
Is that real? Because I never had it.
Yeah.
It's just all 100% vegetables, no meat, so it's just all vegetable.
So it's 100% vegan in the sense that it isn't made with any animal products whatsoever. But I wouldn't say that it's healthy, right? And I think that's the part of it that a lot of people don't know, especially if you're just transitioning into the lifestyle, you want to be vegan. One of the first things you go for is the low-hanging fruit, right? And that's the the vegan Impossible Burgers, the Beyond Burgers, the vegan cheesesteaks, and a lot of that stuff is still processed. Yes, it's vegan, but it's processed, right? So it's still made somewhere, filled with a bunch of ingredients that we have no idea how to pronounce, that's gonna have some negative effects on the body. So for me, I call that food for what it is. That's vegan junk food, right?
Junk food, yeah.
I relate it very similar like alcohol, right? You're never gonna get someone that's gonna say, if I'm in a bar and I'm taking a shot of Hennessy, that this isn't in any way healthy, right? Like, it is what it is. So when you drink it, you consume it, you take it for what it is, right? And I think that's what that vegan kind of comfort food is. It's junk food. So if I am eating it, I just accept it as that's what it is.
That's what it is.
If it's a night out and I'm splurging and I want to eat something that resembles something that I've had in childhood, I just accept it as that.
So if you had to choose between a regular burger and a vegan burger, you would choose the vegan burger.
Absolutely. Because it's still better than the animal product burger, just because of how your body is going to process it and digest it and what's going to get left behind. So I'll still choose the latter in terms of that. But if I had to choose a vegan burger over a salad, or over a grain bowl, over a smoothie, I probably wouldn't.
Right.
Yeah. Unless it's one of those times where I'm out and I want to eat something like that.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm going for. Yeah.
Let me ask you this. You on Market Street.
Yup.
Basically the main strip of downtown Wilmington, if you could say. What was some of the, like, you know, the pushback from starting your restaurant here, or starting your business here? Like, what was the hardship? What was some of the hardships for doing it here?
I think the hardest part about opening up a restaurant on Market Street was that people couldn't understand how a vegan restaurant would work. Because mind you, we started this restaurant here 6 years ago. So at that time, there was little to no access to smoothies, cold pressed juices, and acai bowls. Like, that stuff was non-existent.
Rare.
So when we came up with the concept and we told people that we wanted to open up a vegan restaurant, they said it wasn't gonna work. They just simply was like, there's not enough people who are interested in eating whole food, plant-based, 100% vegan cuisine to be able to support it, where it's gonna make enough money to be sustainable. I knew it was because we had done work on the ground through our nonprofit. So before Green Box Kitchen, we launched a 501c3 nonprofit, and we trained, educated, and employed teams from the local community. And we went into these surrounding neighborhoods from where we're at right now, and we brought the healthy food, the bottled cold pressed juices, the fruit salads, and the fresh produce into the neighborhoods. And it wasn't only until years after that that people were like, we get it. We got it. Like, we want more of this. Where can we go get it from? And that's why we built the restaurant. So we already had that groundwork kind of laid, and we knew we had our finger on the pulse, and that people were wanting something different, something healthier, something more whole food.
Yeah, because this is, like I said, this is the main strip, so you know you gonna get a lot of traffic through here. You know,
Yeah.
what I mean, you would think people get a lot of traffic through here because it's the main strip.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, for it to be a vegan spot, you know, a healthy vegetable spot, you know, it seemed like it's moving along kind of cool.
Yeah. But I think we had to develop the market in order for the market to sustain the product.
Okay.
We had to educate the market. We had to inform the market. We had to spend that time on the ground, going into these neighborhoods, introducing them to cold pressed watermelon juice and fresh fruit salads, because most people that live in the surrounding neighborhoods, they're used to just eating what they can from a corner store, from the Chinese restaurant, or from the fast food joints. So for us, coming into these different communities, they had no idea, you know, that these foods even existed. So we had to spend that time first kind of grooming and conditioning the market. And then after doing that for years, they kind of came around to like the fact that, wow, like, it can taste good and be good for me. Now, where did we go to get this? And that was single-handedly the reason why we created the restaurant. It was to solve that problem of lack of access.
So do y'all still like try to educate the youth as far as like with food and how to eat healthy. And
Yeah. So we still have the nonprofit, right? So, and I'll honestly say the education happens here. Like we get people all the time who come in here and they've never had a green smoothie, or they've never heard of sea moss, or they've never tried something with kale or avocado in it, or a chickpea tuna sandwich, right? So I think the education happens here. Like we meet people where they're at with no judgment. So no matter where you're at in your lifestyle and your dietary choices and what you've been exposed to or what you haven't, we're here to kind of introduce you in a way where it's palatable. You know what I mean?
It's kind of crazy because I would assume that sea moss would be your top seller. Why do you think that's not? Why that's not the case?
I think in this particular market, I think people are still new to sea moss.
Yeah.
I think people hear the word sea moss as a buzzword, but they don't come in contact with it. So they don't truly actually know like the real benefits of it and why it's beneficial and what it's made out of and how it tastes and what the texture looks like. So I think people hear the idea and the concept of it through social media, but then when they come in store and they see it and they want to try it, I think they're a little bit hesitant. So this market is still growing in a sense of like what they're actually willing to try and spend their money on. But I will say in 6 years, we've seen tremendous progress as far as people being willing to try new things. So sea moss definitely is up there, but it's still growing.
Still growing.
Yeah.
So what type of texture sea moss y'all have? Y'all have the liquid?
The gel. Yeah,
gel.
gel.
Okay.
Yeah, so for a lot of people,
Yeah.
people love it, or it's a consistency thing, right? Like they don't like the texture, they don't like the consistency, so they can't wrap their head around justifying the benefits, but the taste or the way it feels maybe a little bit off. But we have flavored sea moss, so we do the mango flavored sea moss. We have the soursop flavored sea moss. We do the strawberry flavored sea moss. So that way, it's that much easier for your palate if you're not used to something like that. So again, like our philosophy is meet people where they are with no judgment.
Most definitely. That's good. You got the different flavors of the sea moss too, because I know some people personally that stop messing with sea moss, even though it's healthy for you, but they stop messing with it because it's a lot of people say it's nasty, but the texture.
Yes.
So for you to add different flavors is cool.
Yeah, and that was intentional because of that. Like we knew if we just kept it raw, unfiltered, uncut in this market, people weren't having it.
Even with the kids.
Yeah.
You got the young people that they would try it if it tastes good.
And it legitimately tastes good. Like it legitimately tastes as good as it possibly can get while it's still being sea moss and not having any of the processed stuff in it.
Now, do y'all give instructions on how to use the sea moss?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that happens at the cash register, at the transaction, especially when it comes to like somebody who's never had it.
Right.
We're gonna walk them through, hey, listen, you take a spoonful twice a day on an empty stomach preferred. This is what to expect. You can add it to your smoothie, you can add it to your yogurt, you can add it to your applesauce, or you can take it directly. So we instruct every customer that's curious about exactly how to kind of incorporate it in your everyday life. That's a part of us being educated and knowing what we're selling, so that way while we're selling it, we can inform the customer.
Yeah, I like that, man. I respect that. All right, let's switch it up a little bit.
Yeah.
You said you were originally from New York.
Yeah, from the Bronx,
From the
yeah.
Bronx.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I've been interviewing a lot of recently. It's just been people from New York that's been, out here starting businesses. Is there a reason for that, or is it just?
So I didn't come here to start a business.
Okay.
I came here because I just needed to get out of New York. You know what I mean? And what I liked about Delaware was the fact that it was slower.
Okay.
So for me, it was like I finally could kind of catch my breath because I had been on a treadmill my entire life in New York
City,
just ripping and running and hustling, right? So when I came here, it was like, oh, I can get used to this. It's slower. It's a lot more low key. I can kind of really focus on me and get my stuff together.
Mm-hmm.
I think the business part, especially when it comes to people like myself coming from New York, is when you come to Delaware, you realize that they don't have a lot here, what we're used to in New York. So like, when it comes to juice bars, when it comes to plant-based vegan restaurants, that type of access exists out there in New York. So like coming here, I think what we realize is that like the problems that people think are actual problems here, we look at them as opportunities because we've been exposed to the solutions. We've seen it done already. So when we come here and we realize there's that void or there's that hole in the market and we've seen it and been exposed to it, it's easy for us to bring it here and to look at it from an opportunist perspective instead of looking at it like as a problem and, you know what I mean, not wanting to do anything about it. Yeah.
What's that, man? What's that? So how long you said you've been out here now?
I've been out here off and on since like '08.
Since '08?
Yeah.
This is your only store?
Yes. Yeah.
Are you consider expansion?
Absolutely. But I think before we expand, it's important that we do everything we possibly can with this one location. I think in business, people grow too fast, too soon. And the intention as well, but in growing and in scaling your business, there's so much more that comes with it than just opening up a second store. Everything from onboarding to training staff to having different food vendors, depending on if you're in a new location. There's so much more that goes into it. So for us, we'd rather focus on quality than quantity, do the best that we can with what we have, and then when we feel ready and compelled to, then we'll grow. Yeah.
Smart.
No rush.
Yeah, that's smart, man. That's smart. So I'm looking at the restaurant now. It's two sides to it. Is it somewhere you can sit down, or is it just a?
So we used to have seating.
Okay.
But what happened is like it started growing so fast that we had to expand the kitchen in the seating area. So there used to be a seating area in the back, but we had to double the size of the kitchen just to kind of keep up with everything. And that's what eliminated the seating. So I think that's probably one of the most enticing things about opening up a new location is to have some seating because we don't have that. Yeah. So right now, everything's 100% grab and go.
Yeah, okay. It's kind of like bittersweet. You look at it because it's like, dang, he would love to have people come in and sit.
Yeah.
But then it's like, business is true, and you gotta need more space for a kitchen. So it's like, you look at that like two ways.
And I think that's a part of the restaurant business. And that's probably why a lot of people do not end up being successful in the restaurant business. It's because all they know is restaurant, but they don't know business. So for us, over these last 6 years, like we had to learn operations. We had to learn overhead. We had to learn costs. We had to learn margins. Otherwise, we wouldn't have made it. Yeah, it's both parts of it. Like you gotta understand the business of it and you gotta understand the actual thing that you're selling. If you only understand one, it's gonna create that imbalance and it's just a matter of time before you sink.
I know a lot of this stuff is self-taught once you start doing it. A lot of stuff you don't know that you're learning as you go along. You know what I mean? So with any business, restaurant business, any business that you start, you're gonna have your learning stuff that you don't know as you go along. You learn, you know. Yeah. So I understand that fully.
Yes. But I will say this: if I had one piece of advice for a new aspiring entrepreneur, I would tell them this: don't learn through trial and error at the expense of unnecessary suffering. Learn from people who are where you want to be. That's going to save you so much time, energy, effort, and money. Like, I wish I would have done that sooner. I wish I would have spent time with people in this industry who are doing what I aspire to do and learn firsthand all these different things that I had to learn from experience over these last 6 years. And at the expense of real suffering, financial, personal suffering, especially because, you know, for me personally, I'm tied to the business. Like this business is an extension of me and my personal brand. So when things are up, things are up. But when things are down, things are down. Both of those affect me, you know what I mean? And they affect my brand and the business's brand. So I wish I would have just spent more time with people that were smarter than me and just learned from them exactly like how to go about this business instead of just knee deep going in it, you know, with my own understanding, which was very limited.
Okay. Okay. So where did you get the name Green Box Kitchen from?
Yeah, so Green Box Kitchen came from the nonprofit. So we started the nonprofit, it was Wilmington Green Box, right? So we took off the Wilmington, we added the kitchen, and it became Green Box Kitchen. Where the name Wilmington Green Box came from was, I spent some time in South Africa. This was at the end of 2014, going into 2015. Huh? And while I was out there, I got exposed to this concept called 27 boxes, and it was 27 shipping containers that was designed as like a strip mall. And each shipping container had different businesses existing in them. So for me, when I came back, like Wilmington Green Box was like, the goal was to establish some type of brick and mortar structure that would house green products, plant-based vegan products. So that's kind of like where the name came from. But at that time, we couldn't launch the brick and mortar, so we just started mobile. And then eventually over time, we opened up the spot.
Are y'all still mobile?
Nah, so that was a large part of like the nonprofit. When I mean mobile, like we had a push cart and we would fill up the push cart with a bunch of stuff, have kids work along with us, and we would push those goods over East Side, over West Side, into every neighborhood we could possibly go into. And that's how we started. That was the groundwork that we did for years before the restaurant. We were literally bringing the stuff to them because we didn't have the money, nor could we afford an actual space. So we just did what we can with what we had.
Sometimes, even when you do get to a certain spot, like you are now, it's always good to go back to the basics sometimes. You know what I mean? To get back out there and push it.
Yeah.
For the people that don't know, it don't gotta be as much as you did.
Yeah.
You had your restaurant, but you know, just to get back there, because people know y'all for that.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's when y'all started pushing the crowd. People know y'all. So I think that's something that you should consider, like, you know, just coming out here 1-2 times a week, just how y'all used to do it.
You're right.
Or just to, you know, just to get people that don't know about this spot right here, that didn't experience that era when y'all was pushing the crowd.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I think it's good educational. People, you push the car, like you said, people come up and ask questions, especially the kids. What's that? Why the green? Or what's going on with that? Then you got the chance to, you know, educate them. So I like that aspect of it.
Yeah.
I was doing that.
I agree. I think sometimes when you get into business, you get so consumed by it that you focus on the high level things and you get disconnected from the things that kind of got everything to where it's at, right? And then I think it becomes difficult to manage it all.
Yeah.
So some things just get lost in that process of being overwhelmed and not being able to manage everything successfully. But you're absolutely right. Especially in this area, in this community, it would be helpful if we did, in addition to the restaurant, sent kids out with some push carts, with some juices and stuff like that.
Like I said again, definitely be educational. Because some stuff you told me in this interview that I didn't know.
Yeah.
That I've learned. And I'm a 35-year-old man. So I should know. So I think it's, you know what I mean? It's a lot of educational things with this. I think that would be helpful. Getting back to the basics, man, with that. That's good, man.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. As far as employees, was it hard? Was it hard getting employees to work here? Was it like a rough patch? It was easy. People just willing.
I mean, at the end of the day, working at a restaurant is a low-hanging fruit job. So what I mean by that is like, that's an entry-level position. Okay. So for the most part, it's not hard to get employees, but it's hard to keep employees. Because people don't see themselves working in a restaurant for 10, 15, 20 years, right? So for a lot of people, they're in till they get their money up and then they go on to bigger and better things, right? So I think for us, like, we've had to change our entire work environment to make it appealing and attractive to people where when they are working here, they're happy. And that took us some time to kind of figure out.
But you figured it out, huh?
Yeah. So right now we got some key employees that really rock with us, and our customers rock with them. You know, so it's mutually benefiting. You can tell, like, when you come in here while we're open, you can feel that, like, the people who work here actually care about their job and they care about the food that we're serving. That's hard to find, right? Or it's hard to train people up in that way where they even want to sell your product like you would sell it. So that's a part of, like, what we have to instill in our employees. It's like the true value of what food is and the food that we serve and how meaningful it is, because it is solving that issue of, like, there's little to no access to real healthy food in this area.
Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah, like this. And then education to come with it to explain the perks of it, how to use it, how to eat it.
And for people who care, right? Like, an important part of this restaurant is the fact that we care. Like, we are invested in the health of this community. When you go to your Chinese restaurant in your neighborhood, you know that they don't care about you, nor the food that they're selling you, because they're there to make money and to solely be concerned about profit. And I get that that's the business part of the restaurant business. But for us, like, we know our customers. We talk to our customers. We've formed relationships over time with our customers. And just to give you the data, 7 out of every 10 customers we serve on a daily basis is a return customer. 70% of our customers are return customers. So we're seeing the same people every single day over the course of these 6 years, right? So when we have that relationship, I think they can feel that we're invested in their health just as much as we're concerned about selling them something that's gonna make us money.
Yeah, because most people just want to sell it and just to make money and don't even care, you know what I mean? So, yeah, man, health is wealth.
Absolutely, 100%. The most important wealth there is. There's this quote that says, once health becomes a problem, you have no other problems but that. And it's so true. Like, nothing else matters when your health is at risk. Nothing, everything else stops. The money, the work, the hustle, the grind, none of it means nothing if your health is compromised. It single-handedly will take over your world as soon as your health ends up going into a space where it's critical. So the best way to treat it is to be proactive. Like, do the things that you need to do now and not wait for something bad to happen and then for you to be reactive to it and have to catch up and be distracted by your work, by your hustle, by your grind. You gotta maintain your health while you do all the other things. Otherwise, it's gonna take you away from all other things as soon as it goes left.
It will. That's a nice saying and a true, very true saying. Because if you think about it, you're right. I don't care how much money you got, how many problems you're going through on this earth. Let you go to the doctors and they tell you something that's life-changing with your health. Ain't nothing else gonna matter.
Nothing.
It's going on
Nothing.
outside of that. Everything in your mind is gonna go to that. Like,
Nothing.
okay, you gotta figure out how to fix it.
Yes.
I understand.
And what's happening now is people are just a moment, a week, a year away from their bad habits catching up to them. And yeah, I think people believe that they have time. Like, oh, I got time, I'm all right, I feel okay. But the reality is you don't, because you don't know when it's gonna happen. And in most cases, people are living with it the whole time, but they don't know until they see a health professional. And then they call it out, they put a label and the title on it, they show you the paperwork, and they're like, you got high cholesterol, you got diabetes, you got high blood pressure, you got cancer, right? And we shouldn't wait. Like, we should be doing small steps every day to start improving what we already know is in our control. Like, that's the great thing about health, is like, it's in our control to exercise and focus on what we're eating. That's in our control. There's a lot of things that aren't, but that is, we can do something about that.
Okay. How often is it good to work out?
I recommend at minimum 30 minutes a day, 5 out of 7 days out of the week. The human body is literally designed to move. If you look at the way my hand, the way my arms, the way my legs, it is designed to be functional. So if you are not moving your body and as a result, it goes dormant, you're going to have issues. So yeah, you gotta move your body every day. No ifs, and or buts. In terms of like the intensity of working out, that all depends on where you're at, right? If you've gotten yourself to a good place where you just need to maintain, then just keep up with a little bit of cardio, a little bit of calisthenics, introduce some weights, and you're fine, right? But if you've been neglecting your body over the last 5 years and you got some catching up to do, your workouts may have to be a lot more intense than someone else that's been kind of sort of maintaining their physical health. So it depends on the individual. Totally depends.
Hey man, I appreciate you coming on the platform.
Yeah, of course.
You done gave me a lot of information, a lot of knowledge with health that I didn't know. But me being a 35-year-old man, that's bad. All that stuff I should have known already.
But not really though. Not really. Like when you really look at what we're dealing with and what we're up against, it's easy to be ignorant because it isn't around. It isn't in the neighborhoods. It isn't in the community. The opposite is in abundance. The shit that you're not supposed to be eating, you're not supposed to be consuming, that's heavily processed and bad for you, that's in abundance.
Everywhere.
So when you've been consuming that year after year after year, you change the entire state of your physiology. And now it thinks it wants that, but what it really needs is something completely different. And then the things that you do need taste like shit because you're so used to consuming the high fructose corn syrup and the processed sugar and the processed carbs and the processed starches that are designed systematically to appease your taste buds and nothing else. There's no nutritional benefit or value in fucking Doritos or Wonder Bread, right? It's literally designed to keep you addicted. So what happens? You become addicted. And then when I introduce something healthy to you, your palate is so off that you're like, this is gross. This is disgusting. I don't want any kale. I don't want avocado. I don't want anything green. I want this. I want what's fruity. I want what looks like this. I want what tastes like this. So it's a process. There's a transition that people have to go through in order to wean themselves off of the processed, addictive, chemical-based foods to getting back to the natural human diet. Fresh fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, grains, legumes. Yes, it's a process.
Process, definitely a process.
Yeah, so you gotta give yourself some grace, but you also gotta act with urgency.
Let me ask you this before we get out of here.
Yeah.
How you feel about growing your own food, vegetables or whatever? Is that still relevant now, today, or not?
What? Growing your own food should be a staple in every home, every household, because like it's given to us to do that. Literally, nature provides everything we need and more. It's been doing that since we've been here. So why should that change now? I think sometimes people trade in what's difficult for convenience, but not everything that's convenient is good for you. Just because it's fast don't mean it's good for you. It can be fast, quick money, but it doesn't mean it's good for you, right? So I think getting back to the basics of using what's free and what's God-given should be the fundamental foundation of all of our existence. We should be growing our own food because it's not that difficult. It just takes you just have to have the desire to want that. And that's one thing I think would help if people saw that process, because I think people are intimidated by what growing your own food may look like and how much time it may take, and if it's labor intensive or if it's not going to be as good as what they serve you in the supermarket. So we should definitely be exposing more people from our community on growing their own food for sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, definitely noted, man. Anything else you wanna, say to the people before we get up out of here?
I'll talk to the camera. This one. So, on August 9th, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., we are hosting our annual free block party where we will be giving away roughly up to 200 free acai bowls. No questions asked. If you've never had an acai bowl, show up on Market Street between 4th and 5th on August 9th between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. And we're literally going to give away free acai bowls until we run out. This is your opportunity to taste and try something different. We guarantee it's going to be delicious. There's going to be a bunch of artists and creative vendors here. There's going to be tables set up. They're going to be doing health screenings. There'll be music. We got DJ provided by DJ Mac, and we got Psy opening up. This is an amazing event for all you guys to come through.
All right, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
For the,
Thank you.
Yeah. And we will. Make sure y'all stop by.
Yeah.
Box, man.
400 North Market Street, downtown Wilmington, Delaware. You can't miss us. It's the big, bright red building right on the corner.